Good. Exactly. Awesome. Now, David, your job is to sort it. Where do you think it belongs? Okay. Okay. They sorted it under they sorted sprout under the OU category. Thumbs up or thumbs down if you agree. Thumbs up if you agree, thumbs down if you don't agree. Okay. Somebody read it. Thank you. Hold it out in front, Caleb.
Owl and drown.
Okay. Where are they going to sort? Thank you. Now, okay, they did something different. They sorted drown under OU. Why did they do that? Under OW. I hear the owl sound in drown. Why wouldn't they sort it under the OU? Because OU says owl. Terry, why not? Oh, so in drown it has OW. So some words that have the owl sound are spelled with OW. So I categorize it over here. Okay, cool. Come on, you're up. You're up. You know I was going to call on you. Know in your brain who's going to read it and who's going to sort it. Go. Okay. Imagine your job is to sort it. All right. They sorted clown under owl. Thumbs up if you agree. Thumbs down if you don't. Okay. Turn it around, Terry. Turn it around so everybody can see it. Good job. Owl and frown. Okay. Oh, the OW category is making a comeback. They sorted frown under OW. Let's see. Thumbs up if you agree. Thumbs down if you don't. Let's see. Terry, what about you? You agree or you disagree? Okay, good. Okay, last but not least, let's go. Okay, I read you sort. All right, very good. They sorted town under OW. Last one. If you agree that town should be sorted under OW, thumbs up. If you think that that's not right, thumbs down. What do you think, Taylor? What about town? Thumbs up? Okay, now let's quickly go through and read all of our owl words starting here. You ready?
Cloud.
Can I tell us on three? Let's read it together. Come over, Journey, so you can see. Unless you like Superman and got x-ray vision. I don't know, I mean, you're super. On three. 1, 2, 3. Cloud. Round. Proud. Sprout. This one was kind of tricky. We know OU says owl, but wow, can we read 3 consonants together?
Yeah.
What does that say?
Spur.
Wow, think about how fast you can read the word if you can put 3 together. Spur. Ow. What word is this? Sprout. All right, over here. Round. Cloud. Frown. Town. All right, very good. So here's my challenge for you. When we get all the way down here to independent reading, as you're reading, I want you to make a list of all of the words you come across that have OU saying ow or OW that says ow. Okay? All right. Next up. Yeah.
Look at voice arrest. I know you're noticing the storms, but these storms are not supposed to produce any tornadoes or anything like that. It's just a thunderstorm, okay? So don't let that distract you. However, if for some reason there's a tornado, you know the drill, we go right outside the room, sit down with our backs to the wall, cover our heads, okay? But I listened to James Band all night last night. He said, just thunderstorms and they'll be gone by this afternoon. So don't let them distract you, okay? All right, let's go back.
So you guys are actually doing exactly, well, I mean, if you listen to my grandma, You're doing what you're exactly supposed to be doing when it's thundering and lightning outside. Now, I don't know about your grandma, but my grandma always told me, when it's thundering and lightning outside, you get somewhere, you sit down. You don't watch no TV, you don't have no video games, you stay away from electronics. You get somewhere and you sit down. So we are actually in a great place if we listen to grandma. Raise your hand if your grandma, your mom, or someone has told you something like that too. Okay? Yeah, well, you know, we'll have to investigate the science behind what causes you to get shocked by lightning or electrocuted by lightning. Last one, see? You know, that's a good question that we need to investigate. After we research and investigate Jim Crow, we got to figure out why is it that parents and grandmas tell us do not, they tell us to just sit down and be quiet when it's thundering and lightning. What do they know about thunder and lightning? Hold it. That's going to be our next research project. Okay, this one we're focusing on Jim Crow. Now, of course, we introduced this wonderful poem by one of my very favorite poets last week, Mr. Langston Hughes, okay? Now, before we tackle the poem, and again, you know, we read it a few times just to make sure we are reading it the way Langston might have wanted us to read it. Yes. So, before we get to the poem, I want to draw our attention to something that helps us read better. Now remember, the reason why we read anything is so that we can understand what it means, okay? And one of the ways that we understand what we're reading is to read with intonation. That means making our voice go up or down so we can actually show we know what's going on in the story. Okay? Now, poets and authors, when they want us to read something a certain way, they'll give us a clue. The first clue they'll give us is this. A question mark. If they want us to use our voice, make our voice do something different to show that we're asking a question, they're going to use a question mark. Because when we read a question, our voice goes up on the end. Like, what's going on with you today? You see how my voice went up a little bit? Okay, it's very different than if I said what's going on today with a period. What's going on with you today? Very different, right? Okay? So the author leaves us a clue. They'll leave us a question mark that tells us how we should read it. They could also leave us
Exclamation mark. Is this the same thing as the question mark? Period.
That's another clue. It is very different. Good thinking. It is very different. When they leave us this clue,
They mean to say it louder.
Louder.
And with fun.
with excitement, with lots of energy. Yeah. So what's going on with you today? Very different. If I'm reading something with this exclamation point, that lets my reader know that, okay, I'm feeling excited. I could be feeling scared, right? Okay? So as we read our poems, it's very important that we pay attention to the punctuation at the end because that's the author's way of telling us how he wants us to read his poem. So let's do a quick practice. Give me a quiet hand. Quiet hand. I know you guys can think it's baby. So give me a quiet hand if you know the letters of the alphabet. Alright, I know we're in 3rd grade, but we are going to practice saying the letters of the alphabet, but we're going to do it very differently. We're going to say the letters of the alphabet using the clue, the punctuation clues on the end to tell us how we should say it. Okay? Hold on, give me 1 second. everybody knows their letters of the alphabet, but you have to pay attention to the punctuation on the end of each chunk of the alphabet so you know how you're supposed to read it. How about I do this? If I turn it this way, can everybody see?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go chunk by chunk. I don't want you just rushing through the alphabet. Remember, good reading is not fast reading. So when we read this, we want to pay attention to the ending. So I'm going to cover this up. So we know, oh, that's perfect. We know that when we have a question mark on the end, that tells us to raise our voice once we get to the end. So we would say A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D.
A, B, C, D.
How would we read that? Oh, three. 1, 2, 3.
A, B, C, D.
What about this one that has the period on the end? How would we say that?
E, F, G. H, I.
There's Ray. Why are you reading that? H-I? What do you know about the punctuation? Because you see a what?
Exclamation mark.
Exclamation point. All right. What about this one?
J, K, L, M.
Amante said J-K-L-M. But what's the punctuation mark on the end?
J, K, L, M. You're supposed to get it out.
We're supposed to say it with excitement. So, Jernay, I want you to model for us. How should we say J-K-L-M if we have an exclamation point on the end? Go.
J, K, L,
Okay, guys, are we convinced?
J, K, L, M.
What are you trying to show us if there's an exclamation point on the end, Jernay? Excitement or fear or anxiety, right? So you raise your voice and you say it with excitement. Let's have Zakira. All right, give it a try.
J, K, L, M.
All right, let's model that. Just what she did on 3. 1, 2, 3.
J, K, L, M.
Jernay, try this. You got a question mark. Could you say N-O-P? Did you try that? Try that. Okay, let's try it on 3. Let's imitate Jernay. 1, 2, 3.
N-O-P.
Amante.
Q-R-S.
Now, why didn't he raise his voice at all? Because he said Q-R-S, Ira.
Because it's a period.
A period. And that tells us how to read. How should we read it when we see a period on the end?
Q-R-S.
Just regular, right? No inflection at all. Okay? All right. Desmond looks like he's ready to give it a go. How should we read T-U-B? Perfect. Let's do it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
T-U-B.
Okay, here's the end. W-X-Y-Z. What do we notice? To bars. Give it a try. Good job. Let's do that on 3. 1, 2, 3.
W-X-Y-Z.
Good job. All right. Now, so we practice our intonation, really looking at the clues that the author has given us. The author uses punctuation to help us learn how we're supposed to read it. Because we don't want our reading to sound like a robot. That helps us read with emotion and expression. All right. So we're going to go over our poem. And of course, the first time I'm going to read it, and I'm going to model for you. Good. Now, here's your job. When I'm modeling it, when I'm reading it, your job is to listen to me and make sure when I get to punctuation marks, clues that the author has left me, that I read that the way that the author wants me to. All right? You're also, I want you to be listening to where I slow down, because we've already talked about commas and periods and where I read fast. Okay? All right, here I go. One of my favorite authors. Merry-Go-Round by Langston Hughes. Where is the Jim Crow section on this merry-go-round, mister? 'Cause I want to ride. Down south, where I come from, white and colored can't sit side by side. Down south, on the train, there's a Jim Crow car. On the bus, we're put in the back. But there ain't no back to a merry-go-round. Where's the spot for a kid that's black? Okay, how did I do? Thumbs up if I did okay. Okay, now it's your turn. we're going to read it together. This is what I'm listening for. I'm listening for when we get to these question marks, exclamation points, that you follow the clues that the author gives you. Okay? Also, I want you to think about how the poet feels about Jim Crow. How could the poet feel about Jim Crow laws? Let's think about that as we read it together as a chorus. Remember, when we're reading as a chorus, we read as one harmonious, melodious group. That means no one should be reading faster than everybody else. No one should be reading slower. Our job is to read together. Ira, very quick.
Every time he had to read it with sight because what his name is
Langston Hughes.
He want us to read it by the periods of what he said.
Good. Okay. Now, Ira, here's another thing. Now, he may want us to read it with excitement, but I want to think, does he want us to be excited or could he want us to feel another way? Let's read together. I'm glad you're thinking. Hold on to that. Let's read together. Everybody ready? Thumbs up if you're ready. Terry, you ready? I need you. Adavia, you ready? Okay. We're going to read together. Starting with the title on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Merry-Go-Round by
Langston Hughes. Begin.
Where
is the Jim Crow section on this merry-go-round? Mr. Pause. 'Cause I want to ride down south. What does that comma tell you to do? All right, let's start it again with the pause. 1, 2, 3. Down south, where I come from, white and color can't sit side by side. Down south on the train, there's a Jim Crow car. On the bus, we're put in the back. This means pause, longer pause, okay? But there ain't no back to a merry-go-round. Where's the spot for a kid that's black? All right, very good. All right, now we are going to go into our small groups. So I want to see your eyes looking at Miss Grayson. She's going to tell you where your groups are and who's going to be with what group. Now, do you want them to go as they call you?
Yeah.
Okay, so Miss Hutton, do you want to go get, where you want Miss Hutton over there? Okay, and Miss Grayson, you're going to be there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you got to be here?
You can.
Okay, I will. Let me go and get my thing set up. Sit crisscross. Who's sitting crisscross? I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you, Desmond. 5, 6, 7. Desiree looking very studious. 8, 9. Now, do I have 100%? I got 99%. Now we got 100%.
Okay.
Let me get it right.
Desmond, you guys start with me. Same group. I already know what that is. And then it's going to be Terry, Taylor, Tavares. So here with Ms. Faith. Excuse me, be careful.
Sorry. Tavares, you can move the floor somewhere.
You gotta be like, is that torture?
Hey, and you're
It's actually two.
Alright, so El Nigel, can you help me with that? Okay, guys, we want to make sure everybody gets through each rotation, okay? Let me have 15 sets of eyeballs. 15 sets of eyeballs. Back here, let me see your eyes. Back here, let me see your eyes. Here, let me see your eyes. Listen, okay? We want to make sure everybody gets through each rotation. So when Miss Grayson says it's time to rotate, or whatever her symbol is, I'm looking for people that are standing up quickly, cleaning up their materials quickly, pushing those chairs in, and walking in the line to the next rotation. So we're going to rotate Just like this, I think. Okay? All right. Okay, guys. So Ms. Mason told me that you had already started working with this article, right? Okay. So we're going to do a little bit more work with this article because we're still trying to figure out more about the setting. Because this is the setting for the novel. Thanks, Betty. Alright. So we know so far that the setting of the Gold Cadillac happens during Jim Crow time, when there were Jim Crow laws. Okay? So you guys already read the first paragraph. Alright, so I'm going to pass this out. And I want you to reread the first paragraph. Jim Crow laws and the Gold Cadillac, yeah, they are similar. Now, Ladarian, thank you so much for getting started reading, but I want us to do something first.
Go ahead and read Charlotte to yourself in the beginning.
And then grab your pencils, and on the left side, write questions, and then on the right side, write answers. That's fine. Do you know what it starts with? Q, it's close. Q, U.
Does anybody have a list on their desk?
I'm spelling it for you right now. Q, U.
You guys
All right,
Right?
so
Q, U,
I got
E,
them.
S, T, I,
All right. So one of the things I want us to think about, this said it was realistic fiction. It's a narrative. But this is information. Now let's kind of make a T-chart very quickly. To kind of think about the similarities and differences between narrative, text, and information. Let's look at how it's a
T-chart.
It is.
Wow.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through the book, and we're going to
information article. It's going to be giving us information. Okay? But the way they look are very different. Let's look at the narrative text. I'm going to turn this. How are the words organized on the page? In paragraph form, right? What else? They're shorter paragraphs. Okay, so we got paragraphs. And the paragraphs are doing what? They're telling a story.
And these have some pictures, so it can give you with the
Ooh, Desiree, you are on fire. Yes. You see what Desiree noticed? Say that again, darling.
these are some pictures, so you can know about.
With our informational text, one thing informational text has that narrative text doesn't have, just as Desiree said, are these subheadings. So point to our first subheading. It says, what were the Jim Crow laws? And Desiree, how do the subheadings help us?
To understand what is going to happen in this paragraph.
So it tells us exactly what we can read about and learn about in this small little section. Do we have subheadings here? No. But we do have chapters. We have chapters, right? Okay, what else? What else? Let's look at how informational text is organized.
Pictures.
Yeah, illustrated pictures. Do they both have illustrated pictures in narrative text? Yep. Okay, so we've got pictures here. And we've got pictures here. Okay, so they're alike in some ways, but how are they different? Let's look at this informational text. We know the informational text has subheadings. How else is the informational text organized? Let's turn the page.
You was right. You was right.
Who?
Jam card.
Jim Crow? He represented racism, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Give me 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
I noticed that it was a paragraph either up under a picture or
So, why do you think in an informational text, why are the pictures here?
because Jim Carter wanted to know represents
Give me some things in that text.
So, the pictures, even though they both have pictures, the pictures do a different job. In narrative text, the pictures are there why?
it helped with the paragraph out.
It helps us maybe visualize the story. But as Zakira said, in informational text, the pictures kind of represent what's going on in the paragraphs around it.
It's color black or white.
What do you mean?
When it say white, it didn't say color.
Okay, and what did she know that it's color? Because she did what? He said what?
What is expression?
Anything else we notice about the informational text that's different than the narrative text?
What did she
How they feel it.
Okay, but looking there, the expression is there because he used the words I cried, which gave that I cried. It wasn't like it was hours and hours. It was like it's hours and hours. What lets you know that excitement? Go through and read.
So the pictures
give combine what lets you know that's excitement. What punctuation mark should you be looking for? What punctuation mark should you be looking for? Question mark might help, but need another one. What should you be looking for? Which one? I probably just talked about it when we're over here. Think about it. What does it look like?
A period?
Like this, but with a dot. Like that?
Yeah.
Okay, what is that called?
Extra.
You guys are all right.
Exclamation.
Here we go.
Exclamation mark.
Okay, let's go. X.
X.
Exclamation point.
Exclamation point.
Exclamation point. Say the word again.
Exclamation point.
All right, while you're reading page 9, see if you find any exclamation points to show the excitement that we can see in this family.
So you already know, you're already starting.
Is it on?
When I have an information text,
Does it have an exclamation point?
okay.
Okay. So everybody look at, you got it, David? All right, David, where are you at?
It's gonna start with once upon a time, way back long ago.
How about total?
Her to hurry. Okay, is it an exclamation point? Everybody touch your exclamation point. So when you're explaining this and you're writing,
So let's just review. You guys already read the first paragraph, so I want you to read that independently.
using phrases that show excitement.
And I want you to be prepared to share something you're learning about the Jim Crow laws. And here's our sentence. It says, I know Jim Crow laws were blank
Put your
because.
copy on your cake.
Oh, no, go ahead, go to the bathroom here. We got 2 minutes.
Use an exclamation point.
So I want you to reread and turn to the first page.
Okay? So does that show that?
Reread that first paragraph.
Yes, it does. So here's what I want
And
you to
then
do.
this is
Go back.
this is the question that you're thinking about by yourself.
My father. My father.
You all ready? You all ready? So this is kind of review. I know y'all read this first paragraph. Let me get some tape so I can see if I can read this.
Ready? Ready, read.
My father read.
Let me see. Grin. Yeah. Okay. Let's start again. Ready?
My father read.
Well, that's a good question. Desiree wants to know, is it possible for us to go back, for America to go back to the time of Jim Crow laws? I hope not. Because we have laws in place now to ensure that doesn't happen. As long as we elect people as our president and lawmakers who ensure that these laws don't come back, they won't come back.
Okay, so now.
So that's why it's very important that we
can
get
feel
big
the
enough,
time, we can
we
see the
vote.
time and turn to the page.
Because we have to put the people in office who are gonna make sure these laws never. Alright, let's share. I want you to start. I know Jim Crow laws were blank because just from this first paragraph.
Does the picture show excitement? Yes. Show happiness? Yes. How do you know?
Okay, so put that in a sentence. I know Jim Crow laws were blank because of.
Okay, so those pictures are moving, they're not static. Okay? All right, so let's read. I want you to read the next paragraph, and then I want you to start at the top, and then I go right here, the next paragraph. Excuse me.
So it's like with this race said, were these racist? So she's learning that I know Jim Crow laws were racist because the text says they were designed to keep black and white apart. And we know that is a big part of racism.
If you, I know I'm not skipping this, but if you're running the house, what's skipping
Nobody
it?
else to do it.
Right.
If somebody's skipping
All right.
there,
Who else? What have you learned from that one paragraph?
how are they feeling? Happy. Happy. So if you think that's a skip, that's what it is. She's like,
Good. Okay.
Because they enforce segregation between white people and black people and faces, sisters,
So you're learning that Jim Crow laws were mean. Yeah, they were okay. What else? I'm thinking of a new word. Go ahead.
Jim Crow laws were selfish because he made it difficult for black people to vote.
Good. I love it. Now use our sentence frame. I know Jim Crow laws were. You said selfish. Let's start over.
I know Jim Crow laws were selfish because he made it different. They also made it difficult for black to vote.
Good job. All right, Ladarian, what have you learned so far?
I know Jim Crow laws
We got selfish. We got mean. We got racist. What else? Were they fair or unfair?
unfair.
Okay. So what makes you know that they were unfair based on that first paragraph?
I know Jim Crow laws were unfair
that emotion's going to change.
people in public places such as school, transportation, restaurants, they also made it difficult to vote.
I got another
Good.
I know Jim Crow laws were racist because Jim Crow laws were laws in the South based on race.
So we're going to read this next section. And we are already learning that this next section is going to be about what? The subheading. Okay, so let's make a prediction. Okay, the title of this subheading, Janae, says Black Codes. What do we predict we might learn just based on the title, a subheading that says Black Codes? What do you predict you might learn? So I can say, with the title like Black Codes, and because I know this is an informational text that's going to give me information, I'm predicting that the Black Codes are going to